Chris, so the Boombox is a runner for you coming up on New Year's Day. 1 from 1 so far. He was pretty impressive last time, given the way he raced.
Yeah, in the training when first beginning, the horses show his ability, and it's a big horse, big strike, long strike, and we expect the first start, he should run well. So it's luckily, he get a winner.
Was there any point during that debut, Chris, where you might have looked away from the TV, given sort of how keen he was? And Vincent had his work cut out on him, didn't he, really?
Yes, that's true. And we talked about before, it's a bit struggle to draw. But anyway, the horse has got ability, and he can, come between the horses. I think it's an impressive race.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, because that was probably the most impressive part of the race and the win, was the fact that he sort of took gaps, didn't he? But he had a really good turn of foot.
Yeah, he got that's what I say, is he in the morning track work, he showed his ability, but last time it's the first start, we doesn't know how he performed, but lucky, we got a winner, and he performed, he come between horses. I think for the new horse, I'm very happy.
Yeah, it was an impressive trait for sure. He has trialled since as well. You happy with the trial?
Yes, and but yeah. The trial is good, happy, and we'll see, the performance tomorrow, because the draw I think is a bit tricky. But I spoke to Vincent, and we have to study the race, and let's see how he runs.
Matthew Chadwick, we've got a double header of Group 3s coming up, and you've got a very nice ride in the Bohemia Sprint Trophy in the shape of Magic Controller, a horse who you've got a decent affinity with now, and he's certainly improving very quickly, isn't he?
Yes, he came to Cody's quite worked up and quite hot and sweaty. Cody's got him going really well. He seemed to improve every run, and he's going well.
You've had a decent bit to do with this horse, Matt. I mean, what have you seen the improvement in him, and sort of what attribute from this horse now that he has managed to put a couple of wins on the board and he's lining up in a Group 3?
As just said, he first came over a bit hot and sweaty. He was quite lightly framed. He's calmed down a fair bit. Cody's done a really good job with that. And he's put on some weight, and he's strengthened up. So, as long as he keeps improving mentally and physically, he'll come out good.
He's got some handy format in the book now. I mean, he beat Wonderbar last time out. We know he's a fairly decent horse, so he's certainly doing all the right things, isn't he now?
Yeah, he's been putting his best foot forward every single run. He beat Wonderbar last time, probably over his better distance, so over our better distance. So, as long as he comes out and comes out off his last trial similar, then he should be running a good race again.
The trial, I wanted to ask you about the trial. I mean, it looked impressive. I mean, for a horse like him, obviously a lot of natural speed. He seems to go through the gears quite easily, doesn't he?
Well, he's been improving, as I said, physically and mentally really well. So his last trial was his best so far. So if he can improve off that, then who knows? We'll see what happens.
Indeed. And just finally, I mean, to many it might seem quite simple. They're racing in a straight line over 1,000 metres, but a small field. Does it get in any way sort of tactical? How do you sort of read the race on paper at this stage?
Oh, we're just going to ride him to his best suit him, where he's nice and smooth. A lot would depend on down the straight where the headwind is running. If there's a head or tailwind, then that'll take into account. But we'll just run him to his attributes, and we'll let the race run itself.
Karis, Teetan, we've got Group 3 action coming up on New Year's Day, and you're riding Patch of Theta in one of those races. A horse that you've ridden before. Lovely pickup ride, this.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Of course, he comes in with that weight, with the top weight being California. That's allowed me to get a chance on him, and I won on him before. Good record on him, so it's be nice to get back on him again.
Yeah, that race you did win on, and that was back last March. You beat Green and White, so he's got some good form even back then, and he really has improved well since, hasn't he?
Yeah, of course. He's always shown that his form always shown that he's got something special, and he's, of course, since I won on him, he's done better and bigger things already. So it's gonna be interesting. Of course, he takes on a good feel again, and it's gonna be interesting.
Just the type of horse he is, Karis. I mean, there looks to be plenty of pace in the race. I mean, that's probably likely to suit him, isn't it, given his running style?
Yeah, you would think so. Even last time in his trial, he showed a lot of speed, but with those speedy horses in the race, they're going to set the race up, and I think it's just going to work out in one of those horses that's getting lightweight.
I know he didn't trial him recently, but he did win that trial, so Francis clearly has him in tip-top condition for this, doesn't he?
Yeah, sure. He took on a trial pretty good. I've sat on him a few times in the morning, and he's going pretty well. So I think he's, like you say, Francis have him going pretty well at the moment.
You've got a good record on him, obviously 1 from 1, but you've got a good record in the race as well. I mean, look back down through the years, 50-50 in Champions Way. You've won a couple of these.
Yeah, I mean, you can always get lucky in those races because you get on those horses that come in with those good weights, 115, 116. So yeah, it's a good opportunity, and let's hope we can start the new year with a nice win.
David Hayes, Chateauneuf in race 9. You will put a saddle on this weekend, or this Wednesday, I should say. Nice horse who's back to Chateauneuf.
Yes, he didn't get a crack at them at the Valley. I think if J Mac won the race, he won the Jockey Challenge and I won the Trainer Challenge, so it was a bit crippling. Just had no luck. We were desperate to win and was desperately unlucky.
Yeah, let's not dwell on that part, shall we? Looking ahead and looking beyond that race, he has trials. He beat Full Credit in a trial who we saw win at the weekend, so he's looked pretty good in his trials.
Yeah, look, I don't know how hard Full Credit was trying, but we certainly weren't trying too hard either, so it was a very good trial and the form has stacked up.
He won here course and distance on his debut. That was obviously off 52, as we know. He's improved 17 pounds in the course of the season. How much more to come from him, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a bit up the sleeve, and I think he might get out over a bit more ground as well. So we've kept him sprinting thus far, but I wouldn't be surprised if we switch him out in distance pretty soon.
Talking of sprinting, if I may, just the latest on Kying Rising, how's he?
Yeah, he's trialling on the 6th, over 1,000 up in Chung Fa. And yeah, we're really happy with him. He hasn't left a note since the race, and we were a bit concerned. It was a very hard run, but he didn't think so.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but is the plan still the sprint on the 19th and then possibly the 4-year-old mile if all is well?
We're thinking probably not the 4-year-old mile. We've had a good look at the program. There's a Group 1 1400 with a bit better spacing, and I think it'll be a small field compared to a full field in the Classic Mile, and we'll just keep him sprinting.
Frankie Law, Voyage Samurai is your runner in the final race of the day coming up on Lucky Start race day. He's a horse that just never runs a bad race, and last time out he was pretty good again.
Yes, last start he finished good, finished second, yeah.
The horse he ran second to is Patch of Theta, of course, is going to line up in the Group 3, so the form's certainly pretty strong still from this horse.
Yes, I think he still keep improving, so I hope he can run a good race, but this time he needs to carry a big weight.
He does, and obviously that was a Class 2 last time. This is a Class 3. He has trialled since as well. That was actually in Patch of Theta's trial. You had Zach Purton on. Zach's going to ride him on race day. What was Zach's report on the horse?
Yeah, he's just the horse okay, but looked like the horse looked like the dirt. And then that day, the trial, the time is fast, yeah.
He's drawn gate 11. I know how much you like an inside barrier, Frankie, but he's got 11. He's a horse who does like to roll forward, so I guess he might just have to do a little bit early.
He usually jump fast, and then I think he'll go a bit forward. But this race, I think have two horses maybe also go fast, Flaming Rabbit and My Wish. But anyway, to see.
You mentioned some of your rivals. I mean, it's a pretty good race. There are some nice horses who've got designs perhaps on a 4-year-old series. So I guess to some degree that this probably his toughest test to date. Would that be fair?
Yes.
And just with him, Frankie, I mean, he's a 5-year-old. He's improving. He's up to 85 now. How much more do you think there is to come from him? Because he never really looks as if he's reached the ceiling of his ability, this horse.
Yes, as I say, he look like still have something. Look like keep improving. So, now difficult to find a Class 2 race for him, 1600 or 18. So that's why he have 85 to 60. Class 3, I still need to race him, yeah.
And I guess just finally, I mean, without getting too far ahead of ourselves, I guess if he is to come through this race and win, I guess do you then have to maybe sort of explore Group 3s with him potentially?
I think maybe, but anyway, to see how good he won coming Wednesday, yeah.